That's a lovely t-shirt that you have there.
Oh, Bob Richards got that. He got two of them, one for himself and one for me.
And it says Scrapple.
It does.
And there's a picture of Delaware there.
A picture of the outline of the state of Delaware. Yes.
So for those of your fan club who are not aware, what exactly is Scrapple?
Scrapple is mostly a breakfast food. It is made from pork. It's when they butcher a hog, they take all the scrap meat and they grind that up and they add cornmeal to it, and then they pour it into molds, usually 1 and 2 pound molds, and then when you get that, it's solid, and you just cut off a slice and fry it. And I mean,
now, from what I understand, different people like to put different things with their Scrapple. Is that right?
yes, that's true. But there's a number of different companies too that make Scrapple, and the taste varies depending on whose Scrapple you get. Now, we like Mrs. Hughes Scrapple, which is made just down here in Felton. And in fact, that Mike Rowe that does the program on TV, Dirty Jobs, he went to Mrs. Hughes Scrapple a couple years ago and spent the day working there with him like he does.
I bet that was a rip-roaring time.
Oh, I'm sure. Now, the Scrapple they make in Philadelphia, called Hatfield Scrapple, we think is horrible.
What's so bad about it?
It's so full of cornmeal. See, they don't put too much meat to it, and they fill it with cornmeal, and it really falls apart when you fry it. It's not good. But Mrs. Hughes is very good. Rapa, R-A-P-A, is pretty good. Kirby and Holloway's is good. Sudlersville Scrapple, Greensboro Scrapple are both good.
Well, now there's so many different kinds of Scrapple. Can you describe the different nuances with these different companies?
Not really. Just I'm sure each one has a little different recipe, and of course, as well as grinding up these scraps of pork, probably the pigtail and parts of the head or something like that, are all ground up. But they would add some spices or some...
Do you think there's hooves in there too?
No, I don't think so. The pig's feet are separate.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, they sell them in the stores, pig's feet,
No, I don't know.
Separate. Well, I mean, some stores do. Probably not many stores nowadays, but...
Is that also a Delaware delicacy?
Oh, I don't know
Pig's
about
feet?
that. No, but I've had pig's feet, and I thought they were good. It's a lot of gristle.
Did you put it in a sandwich?
No. Ate it as the main course with dinner.
Did you put some salt on it?
Oh, I don't know. It's been so long, probably.
Would you like to go out and get some more pig's feet for dinner tonight?
I'll pass on it for tonight, but...
What about some Scrapple?
I like Scrapple. Sometimes we do have Scrapple for dinner.
Wow.
When we may not have something else ready or quick to cook.
Now, from some people I know, have you put ketchup?
Yeah.
Or grape jelly on their Scrapple?
I've never heard of grape jelly on Scrapple, but I've certainly heard of ketchup. A lot of people do that now. Mother and I, and you, when you were growing up, we had Scrapple.
Yes.
And
there ain't nothing better.
Oh, well, there's that Scrapple Apple Festival down at Bridgeville every year in October.
Is there a lot of Scrapple going on there?
Oh, it's a big to-do. They have this like a fair, the festival, but it's sort of gotten to be a carnival-like atmosphere.
Wow, with Scrapple, no less.
Yeah, Scrapple sandwiches, that's a big thing.
What kind of bread do they use?
I suppose whatever you want, a variety of bread.
Now, you would say most people in Delaware are familiar with Scrapple and eat it regularly. Isn't that right?
Well, most people are familiar with it. I don't know about eating it regularly. Now, I talked with a guy at Spence's Bazaar the other day. I had quite a chat with him. And he's lived here on the Eastern Shore his whole life. Grew up over at Rock
Did you
Hall.
just happen to meet him?
No, I've talked to him before. He had a little table out there with things to sell. but he likes sausage, but he doesn't seem to want to try scrapple. It sort of turns him off, or acted like it did.
He doesn't know what he's missing, does he?
No, and there was somebody else the other day. Oh, maybe this waitress we had the other night down at Cool Spring Restaurant. She's just moved to Delaware from Kansas. I said, "What in the world brought you from Kansas to Delaware?" Said her family came here, but she hasn't tried scrapple, and she thought it was some kind of seafood. It's got nothing to do with seafood.
Little did she know. Now, would you like to share with your loyal viewers some other Delaware delicacies?
My loyal viewers. Wow.
Yes, you have quite a fan club.
Really?
And if I knew how to market a little bit better, we could get you a sponsor and you could go viral.
Wow.
Do you know what that means?
Yeah, I think I do.
What do you think it means?
Would that bring in a lot of money?
It could, but it might be more about fame.
Fame. Oh, I don't really care about fame for myself.
You could be walking down. You could go to Spence's Bazaar, and people would the paparazzi could be following you. So let's hear about some more Delaware delicacies.
Well, I would say beaten biscuits. That's more Eastern Shore, which Delaware's part of the Eastern Shore. But
the Eastern Shore of what?
Eastern Shore of Maryland and Delaware are all pretty much the same. The people, and cousin Kathleen used to say, Papa always said that everybody on the Eastern Shore was related. Everyone of the same class was related.
Well, now we know what the problem is, don't we?
Saying it for years.
So,
Rick said he's been saying that for years.
Yeah, and I mean, it's somewhat true that people are related, Dick Carter just sent me something the other day that he had written about back in the 70s when he was a newspaper reporter about his grandmother and the school she went to. This is a country school, one-room school. She was related to everybody except one person in the room, and even to the teacher.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose if you go back far enough, all of us are related to each other, aren't we?
Well, yeah, that's true. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, on beaten biscuits, it's a special kind of thing, a little round biscuit, not very large, and there are 4 ingredients that you use to make it. You use salt, water, flour, and lard, and you make that up into a dough, and you beat it on a wooden block for a half an hour until it starts making a certain kind of a cracking sound.
What do you beat it with?
Well, this one lady, there was an article about her, and when she got married, her husband bought her a small axe, and she used the flat side of the axe to beat the dough for a half hour. And then, when it reaches the right consistency, or whatever they call it, she would make little biscuits and bake them. And they were traditionally served with chicken salad and fried oysters. You would always have the beaten biscuits with them.
What about the green vegetable?
Oh, well, I don't know. I guess there wasn't any green vegetable.
What about lima beans? Isn't that, according to you, a Delaware staple?
Pole lima beans, not just
any lima beans.
Not just bush lima beans. A lot of people grow bush limas, but most of all the old time people, or even the newer people, some newer people that are gardeners, would have pole lima beans. And I've always grown pole lima beans all my life, and the last 4 years have been horrible as far as trying to get any beans, because we've had these really intense hot nights, and the blossoms dropped off.
Mercy.
And so then you don't get any pods, you don't get any beans. We got enough beans last year for Mother and me to have a bowl once. And I have 3 rows that are 80 feet long out there.
Good.
But finally, this year we did get some. And in fact, we still haven't, the beans haven't had frost yet on them, the lima beans. And so I have picked about 2 5/8 baskets here just in the last week. So we've had beans 4 or 5 nights for dinner, and we even got some in the freezer.
Oh my gosh.
And I love pole lima beans.
Well, the world has righted itself then, now that you have beans.
Yes, well, but we didn't get them in the middle of the summer like we used
Well,
to do.
we can't get everything that we want, can we?
It seems that
But
way.
but if we have scrapple, beaten biscuits, chicken salad, fried oysters, and once in a while some pole limas, I think life is pretty good, isn't it?
That would be good. And also chicken and dumplings, you know, that's another staple
Oh
around
yes,
here.
chicken
And
and
the dumplings, your grandmother, my mother, always made puffy dumplings, but a lot of people make what they call slippery dumplings. And they roll them out and then they cut them in strips and they drop them in the chicken stock and cook them. And I like them very much. That's a staple around here.
I'm sure it is, at least for you. All right. Well, this our time is now up. So thank you for that wonderful lesson on Delaware food.
Auf Wiedersehen.